States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Like you have a very booming voice. We'll probably hear you. All right. Well, first of all, welcome back to the dais. Welcome. Yes. All right. Has council had a moment to review the minutes from June 2nd, 2020? If so, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented. This is Rick. Just kidding.
This is Troy. I'll second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Troy. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Any additional items for this evening's agenda? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the set agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Troy. Those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Guest and open forum. Anyone here for guest and open forum? Seeing no one, we'll move on to committee reports. EDA.
EDA, we met last Monday, not yesterday, but 8 days ago. We talked about a market update. The housing market especially continues to be hot for the houses that are making it to market right now. There's not a lot of inventory, which has just been kind of the case. But for the houses that are getting there, they are selling quick and sometimes getting even more than asking price. I guess I'll just kind of give the highlights. We had a quick update on the regional planning partnership. There was I believe there's a survey that they had sent out that should have been in their inboxes a little while ago, probably a month ago or so. It's been probably sent several times, so if you have not filled that out yet, please do so. Quick update on the Sherman County Housing Study. That draft was emailed out on 6/2, and it is quite lengthy, so it's there is an executive summary, but it's probably 200 plus pages. Pretty interesting. I haven't read it cover to cover, but looked through quite a bit of it. Pretty interesting stuff there, so that's in draft form right now. There should be a final coming pretty soon. Talk briefly about the Sherburne County has a patio grant program. I probably saw this in the news. So they do have a grant program for I believe it's restaurants and any other types of businesses that need help with tables, things like that, for doing temporary accommodations outside. So they have that. You can contact the county for that. And also we talked about the EDA business survey, which is something that we just did within the city here. One of the questions, of course, comes up is you kind of got to know what the need is before you can, see if you can address that need. And so we just sent out a survey to just City of Becker businesses. And it's in preliminary, so it's still open right now. So it still can be filled out yet, I believe. Over 80, I won't read through every single one of them, but just a couple of the highlights. Over 80% of the businesses who had responded indicated they had experienced some type of loss due to COVID, whether it was reduced sales or increasing operating costs, things like that. More than half, we'll say, of the businesses are very concerned about the impact to their businesses, especially in the next 1 to 3 months. Definitely an anxious time for business owners, as some would know right now. So, but that's in just preliminary right now. So, just want to share those results with council, and that is all I got for EDA.
All right. Joint Powers Fire Board.
Fire Board, we met last night. It was pretty quick. We just paid the bills and talked about how they're going to actually do an on-site truck meeting for the new truck they ordered, just to get all the specs and all that. Usually they would go there for a couple days, but they're coming here to do it. So that's about it.
All right, Park and Rec Committee.
Park and Rec, we had our first meeting since the COVID. We were talking about a couple of different projects. One was the Johnson Park. It was initially scheduled to have equipment replaced this year. And Josh was questioning if we should proceed. So on that part of it, I'm going to bring it to the round table so we can discuss that, see if you want to do anything or if you want to wait. And I thought Josh was going to be here, but we maybe not. And then we talked about the shade for the patio out at the city park, that new patio that's before. I don't know if you've been out there, but it's really nice. And some shade, either umbrellas or sail type shade canopies and stuff for it. So we're going to be looking into that a little bit more. We talked briefly about the prospective parks tour, the tour I brought up with council. And we were talking about how we should go about it, if we should just start at one place and go all the way around, or if we should take one board member, one council member in a group and have like 5 groups and have them rotate and then have like hot dogs and something at one place and ice cream at another place. And we were thinking, was it August? I think it was August. We were thinking maybe in August to do that, possibly, depending on what happens with the regulations and whatnot. So there'll be more on that coming up. And we talked about, we went to the city park to discuss where the fence would be for the dog park. And how to keep it so that people can walk their dogs out there or bring them in by car and have the parking lot. And kind of talk about where the boundaries of the fence would be and whatnot, so that everybody's on board with that. And that's really about it. The one other thing, youth basketball. We had some open forum people. They were talking to us about putting a basketball court in someplace. And we were talking about, and they're willing to participate in the getting that done. They got some extra money or whatnot, so they're willing to help out. And we talked briefly about Johnson Park because we want to do some stuff out there. That's a big park. And it's not a cut and dry deal yet. So anyway, Josh will be looking into it and coming up with some kind of plan for that. That's about it.
All right. Public Works, we did have just one agenda item, and council was emailed in regards to it. It was the mailboxes on Parkview, how the standards for a mailbox have changed. So we did receive, staff did send letters to each resident that was affected, as well as the Phase 2 people will receive a letter. And then those that did bring the concern to us, they were personally engaged with a staff member. So thank you for staff for doing that, double-handed. That was very nice, and the situation is forthcoming.
Just the day before, and there was somebody putting up their new mailboxes of their own design. With the new specs, with the 4x4 posts rather than the 4x6.
So I have one other item that's not on here. The Energy Drive will be opening tomorrow. No, not tomorrow? Right now, tonight. I hope you all share the same excitement that I do. A lot of us were here when that vision kind of came about. If you'll remember, April of 2018, I testified down on the House file. We were given the $3.3 million for the bonding, and a lot of that match funding was from outside of tax dollars. So it was kind of a great project, and yeah. So I hope you feel the same, excitement and appreciation towards it. So we'll do the ribbon cutting a little later. We'll get some posting up to it, but it's nice to see one project that you started kind of flourish and come to an end. Okay. Yeah. Any other reports or?
We have something. with sadness, I have to turn in my resignation letter today, that I will be done with the city as of today. The family's relocated to the metro for opportunities I just can't pass up. So I'm really going to miss this place. And thank you to all staff and council, mayor. Appreciate all your time. Keep up the good work.
Hate to see you go.
Yeah, me too. It's a tough choice, but had to be made.
Well, thank you, Troy, for your 2 years of service. You've been an asset to us. You've brought joy back to the council chambers with the excitement of not taking it too serious at all moments of time. So thank you for bringing that personality to us. It's going to be truly missed.
So the next parade I'll be there, but I'm going to throw a water balloon. So,
Be the Grand Marshal, maybe.
So with Troy's announcement then today, being that he still has 2 years left within his elective timeframe, what will happen is there will be a special election at this November's election as well, and his seat will have, under the special election, along with the other 2 council members and the mayor's position. The special election winner will then take seat immediately after that election. In the meantime, council will make the decision on how to fill Troy's vacant spot until November 4th. So we should probably decide, since we won't see each other again until July 7th, and that's when we'll be able to accept your resignation on July 7th, but we should have kind of an idea, do we want to appoint someone, or do we want to go through the interview process like we have in the past? Are there any personal preferences? Again, this person will sit in there probably from mid-July until November, and then they'll have to either win that seat or win another seat. So we can discuss it at exec session too. I just didn't know if you wanted to.
Let's do the exec session, because I like that.
Any objections to waiting until exec session? All right. Okay. Anyone else?
Nay.
Okay. All right, administrator and staff reports. Chapter 10, section 10.21, revision of all right, Chris, listen.
Mayor? Okay, so tonight for council, for consideration, to have ordinance 224 second series. So ordinance asking to amend chapter 10, section 1021, subdivision 6, item 1 of city code. So back in May, I had asked council to change. We're looking to match chapter 7 and chapter 10 regarding weed, vegetation, grass height. We had been enforcing 6 inches as the standard for at least the last 5 years, and we had chapter 7 talked about 6 inches, chapter 10 talked about 12 inches. So I'd asked council to make a change in May regarding one section of chapter 10, and Al pointed out to me last week that it was listed in another spot in chapter 10. So before council and I, just asking to make this change so that all of 10 matches chapter 7, so there's no discrepancies for anybody that wants to check code, and if we do weed ordinance, then they'll all be the same. There's no questions regarding that. Just a motion and a second to approve ordinance 224 second series as presented would be great.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 224 second series, amending chapter 10, section 10.21 as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion from Rick, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 224 second series summary for publication purposes.
Second that also.
Motion from Rick, second from Mike. Any questions? Those in favor may state aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Somehow, there was. Call for public hearing for certification of snow removal charges. Mr. Liston.
Yes, so the staff is prepared to the RCA tonight, asking for a public hearing for certification of snow removal charges. So listed in the RCA was the dates in which staff went out and executed a snow ordinance. To date, we have 89 total properties that have not paid for those services. So we're just asking council to call for a public hearing on July 7th to consider the assessment of those unpaid snow removal charges. So if there's any questions, I can answer those. Otherwise, a motion and a second to call for that public hearing on July 7th would be appreciated.
July 7th.
July 7th.
July 7th.
7th.
So
Yep.
next council meeting. I'll make that motion. Call for public hearing July 7th for the snow removal certification. Charges.
I'll second that.
Motion from Mike, second from Troy. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Election of judge appointments. Miss Susan.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. With it being another election year, we need to appoint judges for the primary in August and the general election in November per Minnesota statute. So I have a resolution 20-47 to appoint those judges. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer. Otherwise, I'd ask for a motion and a second to approve resolution 20-47.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 20-47, appointing election judges for the 2020 primary and general elections.
I'll second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Troy. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Consent agenda.
Mayor, City Council, please take note, we do have a revised consent agenda this evening. Items number 1, 2, and 3 are all hiring and termination report forms from the Community Center, our Public Works, and Pebble Creek. Item number 4 is 2020 liquor license renewals. Item number 5, and this is an addition, COVID-19 preparedness plan. And then item number 6, also an addition, appointing Ben Johnson to the Park and Rec Commission. So if they have questions, I can try to answer those. Otherwise, a motion to adopt the consent agenda for June 16th, 2020 would be appreciated.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion from Mike, second from Becky. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Payment of the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Motion from Troy, second from Rick. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Does council have anything else for the betterment of Becker? No? All right, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
And we'll be adjourned.
I'll second that.
Motion from Mike and the last second from Troy. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 5:23 p.m.
Go right into it, or we're going to take a little break?
Go right into it.
Sounds good to me.
Why not?
We're going to run over to the river travel road.
Yeah, we are going to do that. As a matter of fact, I'll just fill you in.
It's like a
Quick replay.